This is Henrik and myself here. Just wanted to go through and let you know that we're coming up with a new, really exciting opportunity here. And it started with the fact that we added a module within Reiki Factory and GMB Factory called Sheets. You can see over there on the Sheets side, it's pretty simple. It allows you to add a main keyword and a secondary keyword, as many URLs as you want. Like typing google.com and yahoo.com and bing.com, just so we could show with everybody what we're doing. And then in the bottom, under the description in the comment area, as with most Google properties, you can add other supporting information and supporting data. In other words, you can stuff the crap out of it with relevant content, LSI, whatever you want in that area down at the bottom. And so NAP is one of the beautiful things that we can add to this information as well. So you title your sheet, whatever you want it to be titled, in this case, mortgage company or bagel shop or whatever your document's going to be, because that's the title document. And then over on the right-hand side, you can hit anchors and then open the worksheet. So if we got 3 little keywords there, this is how simple it was, but it's really very powerful, even in its simplicity. We can just hit check the preview, or did you run it, or did you preview it?
I just previewed.
So if you look at the preview, it gives you your main keyword, your secondary keyword, and it anchor texts to your main URLs that you were creating. So if you hit upload, it'll upload that up. It'll include all of the comment areas and create a CSV file. Or in this case, it's not really a CSV file, is it, Henrik? It's a Google Sheet.
It's a Google Sheet, yeah.
Not a CSV file. But we do say in the bottom it is a CSV file, but it's something that we can fix. But in any case, in its simplicity, here's how simple but how powerful this is. So once these keywords are anchor text, we all know the value of anchor text. We all know the value of your relationship of those keywords to your anchor text. But here's the one thing about Sheets and many, not all, but many Google properties. So when you have these sheets, Henrik, what can we do with them?
Well, you can embed them, for instance, into your cloud stack that you're using RFR to create, so that the cloud stack will contain a list of URLs with anchor text or a naked URL, as you can see. So in theory, for each row, we generate 3 different links within the sheet. In this instance, the main keyword with a URL, the naked URL, and then the secondary keyword. That's a URL.
And the cool thing is that not all properties in Google allow you to do this, but in order for Google to actually see this on your Google Drive, you can go over to File, and then when you're in the File section, you see a little button down there that says Publish to Web. So once you click on Publish to Web, some magic happens so that you can do all of this, and you can get a link or you can get an embed code. So if you click on embed, there's your embed code. Whatever process you're using, whether it's RFR, whether it's GMB, whether it's, you want embed codes for your G sites, or you want to use them in IFTTTs or press releases or whatever, there's the power of the Sheets, which carries Google weight, but now you have an embed code that you can just do a boatload of stuff with, right, Henrik?
So this code you can actually embed into whatever you would like to embed it to, but many people in the RFR is creating a cloud stack. So they'll stack it into an Alibaba page, which is then linked up to a Google cloud page, which is linked to an Amazon cloud page, which is linked to an Amazon cloud page, which then might link out to whatever you want to target.
And one other thing that is pretty interesting, and that is, what does it mean on that last sentence you have checked down there?
Automatically republish when changes are made.
What does that mean?
That means that it will be updated wherever you are if any changes is made to the sheet in itself.
So if you went in here and made a modification every day to this sheet, does that mean it would update the sheet and update the property that embed code is listed on?
Yep.
So you're basically kind of automatically pinging and telling Google to come back and look at this property every day, wherever it's sitting, whether it's sitting in a press release, whether it's sitting in an IFTTT network, whether it's sitting as an embed code on your website. Is that right?
Yeah. And you can do some sneaky tricks so that you will add automatically onto a sheet like this if you do a little bit of automatization as well. So that's another issue.
So what Henrik and I wanted to share with you was this tool exists within RFR and GMB already, although it's in its simplest term. So what happened is we had a situation where we were building out like 100 keywords. And so I had my VA working on 100 keywords, and he actually had to build 50 sheets because it only allowed for 2 primary, secondary keywords. So we went into the lab and we came up with some things. This diagram is kind of going to share with you a little bit about what we're talking about in terms of the new Sheets program, which basically starts with the embed code for that sheet. And then we're going to show you a little bit about what we're doing with Sheets to make it just off the charts.
But what the general idea is that we will create what you call a main folder, and then you can have a number of subfolders or folders within that folder. And each folder will have its own sheets depending on how you structure it.
Now, when you say folder, you're talking about Google Drive folders, right?
I'm talking about Google Drive folder because everything that we're doing here is within the Google properties.
And with that, we always have to give the disclaimer that, this follows the Marco test. Drive stacks and Google stacks and all that stuff. I mean, that, really kind of goes back to the, Marco, the godfather of stacking. So we just want to give him a shout out on that.
Generally, what we can do with that parent folder, as we call it, is that if you have a G site, you can embed that into the G site. And then the G site you can do, or you're pumping out links to either your money site or your target site. So that was basically the idea. But the idea is that we automate the whole process down here at this level down here. And how do we do that?
No, we come up with something new.
So what we have done is we have created a little program where we have extended the Sheets parts of Ranking Factory. We have combined it a little bit with GMB maps, and we have a URL shortener in there. We have the iframe tool, and we have Pixabay interface where we can download images from Pixabay. But what we're going to show you is just the sheet.
And by the way, this is the pro version, not the basic version. There's going to be different levels in terms of what we're building here, but I think you're going to find this pretty exciting.
So what we can do is, I'm just taking a sheet here to show it. You can put in URLs here. You can have a parent folder. You can name child folder. You have possibility to, for instance, to manipulate your keywords. So you can see over here, if I put in video marketing here, I can merge that. So if I'm merging this, you can see it will generate variations of the keywords down here. You have sheet name. You have the opportunity to put in what we call custom for in the pro version custom keywords you can build your folder structure for. You have the file description, so you can right click here and import an app if you have that. So I'm right clicking here and you can see how fast I'm getting the information in here.
And where did that nap come from?
It comes from over here. But normally you would have to go in here. You would have to go into the GMB. You would choose your location up here. You will have the URL here, and that's the URL it will grab and put in here. You can see I made what we call variances. So I have already ran this earlier. So, but you can click up here and take the numbers of map variances that you want. So if you want 50, you can see here it will run 50 variations of that URL, and then you can hit send to sheet, and it will go over here and be pasted in this area here. And when you go and hit upload now, it will create all these folders. Within that folder is called video marketing, and as I have already made one run of it, you can see here there's the folder called video marketing. This one, it's a public folder. The information is down there, and then when you go into that folder, you can see that has been created all these variations or subfolders, and within that you will find there's a sheet. If you open that sheet, you can see there's a lot of links, and here I have created roughly 1,200 links in each sheet. Now 2,700 links, which is actually quite a lot. And what that result in is that I have these 2,700 links, and I have 3 links in each row. That's 8,100 in one, and I had 24 subfolders. Isn't that correct?
It's a lot. So, basically the point is what we just shared with you in just a few minutes was actually taking us more than a week to accomplish in the old system. Now, the old system is great because it's part of Ranking Factory and G&B Factory, and you're utilizing that for, a lot of different things. This particular product, being a standalone, not associated with either of those two tools, allows you more flexibility, allows you to actually get file structure, a siloing structure within the drive itself, and with the parent and child. And there's a lot of other things that we're going to be kind of teaching and sharing on in terms of best utilization of this particular tool. But we've been testing it now for about a month, Henrik?
Oh, 3 weeks now.
Yeah, 3 weeks. And, it really doesn't look like anything that we first started with in terms of the idea and the concept. The other thing is that if you go back up to the software, you have the G&B portion in there, and then you also have Pixabay. So you can go get images and bring them in and optimize the images, and then use add-ons to filter those images in terms of some of these sheets as well, which we'll be getting into some training on. What I like when you do all of this, and what you did earlier is you saved it, and then you load it back up, you make a couple keyword changes, and you do another one. Load it back up, make some keyword changes, do another one.
The trick here is if I want to expand, so if let's say I'm here for the best video marketing in Florida or Miami or whatever, then I can go up and swap that so Miami becomes the parent folder and then create further child folders. So I can actually enlarge my reach either by keywords or so if I want to have in video marketing Miami, a subfolder called best video marketing in Miami, and then take some of the areas down there, I could swap these out so I could remove this and then just put in areas in Miami instead of, and then I have a subfolder to the subfolder, which actually expanding once again with all the areas of I want to. So it could be very sophisticated, and you can make it really simple in just uploading a sheet into a main folder.
All right. Well, I think it's pretty cool. Everybody's loving it. We're getting some really good results. People in a test group that have got the needle to move pretty significantly. We have one guy that hasn't been anywhere for the last year and a half in the top 100 or wasn't even on the Google My Maps. And he instituted one of the basic philosophies that we're using here, and he's already popped up in a few days to page 3. So other guys have been just recently showed up in not only in page 1, but on number 1, and they haven't been able to get there in a year. We're getting some good results. We want to send this to you guys. There's a form here for all of our friends to sign up for the beta version, test version, pre-launch version. This will be broken up when we go launching to a basic version and 2 or 3 different OTO aspects of these features. We're just trying to figure out which ones they're going to be right now. But if you sign up now and get on the list, whatever price point we come up with, you'll definitely be able to get the full pro version here as we've been testing it out and not be subject to all of that OTO bullshit that we're going to put together. So, Henry, thanks a lot.
Welcome.
I really appreciate it. And I think the power of using Sheets by itself is pretty cool. But I think it's a lot better when you're utilizing it within like Ranking Factory, in terms of the cloud stacks and, putting all this embed codes in G sites and other strategies that we'll kind of talk about later. But if you don't have Ranking Factory or G&B Factory, you're kind of missing out on the boat of a lot of great opportunities for ranking. But this is just one of the tools that we're using to enhance our position. And thanks to Marco for kind of sharing with us a lot of insights in terms of drive stacks and stuff that they're working on and we're working on. We just want to thank him for doing those webinars for us that kind of gave us some insight as to how to do this. It's 20 minutes out of a 5-minute video that I wanted to make, but I think it's important for everybody to see this. And if you're interested, sign up and get on the list.